Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Blue Tinted Glasses. Today, we, of course, have another match preview, and this time we're looking ahead to Blackburn. Blackburn at the King Power Stadium. One of two back-to-back home games. So that's fun. But yes, we're going to talk a little bit about Blackburn, what we can expect from them, what we should worry about. And, of course, we'll be talking about Leicester and how we see ourselves setting up on the weekend. New face for the match previews today. Luke is boxing right now, so that's why he's not here. But we do have Steve with us. Steve, what's going on, mate? How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Just playing some Football Manager, but happy to stop for 5 minutes to chat about the game on Saturday.
Yeah, I think every stream that we've done in the last week, the words Football Manager has have come up. So yeah, and you can expect much more of that to come. So yeah, we obviously we've got this game on Saturday, early kickoff, 12:30 kickoff, and well, I'll see you, Steve. We'll finally meet in person. I just thought as well we'd never actually. It feels like it's always the case, right? When you speak with people virtually for so long, you just feel like you have met them, and then you have to remind yourself, oh, actually, I've never actually met you. You could be, or I could be, a really big weirdo. So
I'm not, I promise.
So yeah, that'll be fun. But yeah, okay, Steve, if we go to the first slide, mate, and we'll start off by taking a look at Blackburn's recent form. So they're 21st in the table. They've won 3, drawn 1, lost 7, and obviously on the far right there you can see the recent form. I don't know which one is the most recent. Is the one on the far right the most recent?
So they beat Southampton at the weekend.
Okay, so there you go. There's an interesting win for them against Southampton. Looking at this, Steve, mate, I mean, I think this this term has been used so much this season, but on paper, we should be dealing with these, shouldn't we? But it's obviously not that. That's not the case usually in football. And as you just said, as we can see, they beat Southampton, which will give them a bit of confidence.
Yeah, it's almost a case of welcome Dr. Leicester to the infirmary, isn't it? At this point, we have a better squad than them for sure. But if they turn up and put more effort in, then anything can happen. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, 1 point ahead of Sheffield United, who obviously had that horrific start to the season. They won 2, but they lost the last one, so they're still down there. Norwich as well. You forget how bad Norwich have been. I mean, look at that form. I think a lot of people expected them to do fairly well. And talking about Football Manager, Steve, they did very well on Football Manager on mine. I don't know about yours, but yeah, clearly it's not that realistic, the game.
No, wow. I mean, we won't spoil Friday, but we've had a very good couple of seasons, haven't we? So, yeah, it's definitely not realistic, that's for sure. But we play Norwich on Saturday next week at home. They've not won at home yet, so it will be, again, a case of, hello, Dr. Leicester. Welcome to Carrow Road.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, I know we've got Middlesbrough as well, but Norwich have only won 2 games all season. Blackburn have only won 3. They've lost 7 and 8 respectively. So again, on paper, but football unfortunately isn't played on paper. If we move on, Steve, what we've got here is their strengths and weaknesses. What you can expect from Blackburn when they show up. So their strength, like many teams that are kind of towards the bottom of the table and don't really play pretty football, they do go with aerial duels, attacking set pieces, and obviously the width and counters included in there. So aerial duels, Steve. Whenever I see this, all the teams that me and Luke have looked at this season, and we've seen aerial duels, instantly I'm like, here we go. Like, because I just aerially, I think we're terrible, and that I suppose, Steve, ties in with the second thing there on the list, attacking set pieces. Right, if they can use those aerial ability against us in attacking set pieces, they could cause us big problems.
Yeah, we aren't very good at attacking any ball, really. Whenever I see the ball go towards our defenders, you can almost guarantee that they never win the header. It's weird to have a defender like Vestergaard, who's 6'4", 6'5", just barely win a header at any point in the game. And depending if it's Fass or Okoli, I imagine it'll be Okoli at this point. yeah, he's not good for a big physical guy either that can try and win headers. He's not great either. So that's a bit worrying. Um, but hopefully that's not the case.
Well, they also, as I said, one of their strengths are playing is playing with width. And Steve, I also saw that they like to attack down the left, which of course is our right, However, as we've seen so often this season, teams do like to target our left-hand side, their right, because because we have a gentleman called Luke Thomas at left back. Sorry to there's the BTG bingo card slag off Luke Thomas, but it's like and it was the same with when I did the preview for the Millwall game, or when I was we didn't actually do the preview, but when I was preparing the preview for the Millwall game, that was playing with width, and they did that, and they kind of hurt us a little bit at times out wide. So does that concern you a little bit, Steve? Because even like Ricardo, I think Ricardo struggled a little bit with some of the wide plays that he's come up against. Luke Thomas, of course, has. Even if VK plays, we know he'll struggle. I think this shows, why we need some extra reinforcement at the back, whether out wide at the back, whether that's a new signing in January or Badeluco.
Yeah, so the width is an issue because we saw against Hull and against Millwall that inverting Ricardo or Hamza against Hull, it leaves a lot of space in behind on that sort of right hand side, and we all know that Luke Thomas is a pony at this point. He's not a professional footballer. So if you have an inverting fullback and a fullback that can't defend, if they attack those areas, we're going to struggle. And I said it yesterday that Ricardo looks past it at this point. He's lost a bit of pace. So if he plays, I think maybe we won't be inverting as much anymore. I think we'll be playing in almost like a straight back four going forward. But yeah, that is worrying because we do get hit quite often on the wings, and a lot of the goals come from mistakes by putting the ball over into the channel behind Vestergaard and then just breaking into the box from there.
It's that area right of the pitch in between Vestergaard and Thomas. I mean, I know me and you are both in agreement that Vestergaard's been our best defender this season, but still he is slow, and the recovery pace isn't there. So when you do, sink a ball in it or put a ball in between Thomas and Vestergaard, Vestergaard's too slow, and Thomas has the footballing IQ of a 12-year-old child. So, and the physicality of a 12-year-old child as well, should I say? So. Yeah, I don't know. But looking at their weaknesses, it says that they are poor against defending counterattacks. They are poor at defending against long shots. That would maybe point towards maybe they don't do enough blocks. They don't put their body on the line enough. Maybe the goalkeeper. Maybe there's concerns around that, and also protecting the lead. I mean, two things there in particular. The last two, Steve. I mean, we know we love a long shot. We know Abdul loves it. We know Jordan James has got it in his locker now. Aaron Ramsey, although he is injured, we assume so. But protecting the lead as well, Steve. We have seen Leicester earlier in the season actually coming from behind to get something from the game. But even, I suppose, in the whole game, right? I know we didn't win the game or get anything from the game, but we scored a goal in the second half and we looked like we maybe could get back in it. So does that encourage you a little bit? And on the counter-attacks point as well, we haven't really been playing direct counter-attacks, but we do have a lot of pace and, with Fatawu and Monga, so we could exploit them there.
Well, so I think we can just strike off counterattacks because we don't release the ball quick enough for a counterattack. So they'll be okay on that point. It's good that they struggle to protect a lead because most of the time if we go a goal down, we have a better second half at that point. So it'd be nice to not go a goal down, to be honest. But if we do, it's nice to know we can potentially get back in the game as long as we're on form. And then long shots. I mean, I think the majority of our shots this season have been out from outside the box. So as long as Abdul's got his shooting boots on and JJ as well, we might be okay. So it's a little more promising, that's for sure. But this is Leicester, and it depends on who decides to turn up on the day.
Yeah, I mean they've not got a team full of bombs because if we move on, they do have one player in particular who Todd Cantwell. I didn't even realise he was at Blackburn, to be honest with you, mate. I didn't realise he'd gone to Blackburn.
Yes,
But
it was in the summer he went there.
yes, yeah, I believe so. Yeah, there he is in his Norwich kit. So apologies to the Blackburn fans for not including him in the. That's just me being lazy. But it's not. It's not that impressive, this return already, Steve. I mean, 3 goals, 1 assist. However, for where they are in the league, where they are in the position, he is their highest rated player at the moment. And there was a lot of hype about him at one point, Steve, when he first kind of broke onto the scene a little bit. I think there's reports that he's maybe got a bit of a poor attitude. So maybe he didn't grow into the player that he probably should have. But and I think he did. I think he has scored against us before. I don't know in the past. I can't remember for what team, but 3 goals, 1 assist. You know that he can kind of pop up with something, and he's not a bad player, Steve. So it is one to watch out for.
So we were actually linked with him back in 2021 to
Yes.
sign the guy, but I don't know what put us off. But it could be the bad attitude, because I know he went up to Rangers, didn't he? And then he sort of fell out with a couple of people. So that will stifle development. But he's a good sort of attacking midfielder that makes the runs into the box and puts the ball away. It's somebody that we've been missing in a sense. He's almost in a mold like KDH in the sense that he likes to break into the box slightly later. 3 goals a season isn't awful for a team that's down there. 1 assist, that could be better. But overall, I think he's a decent player, and he's somebody that we will need to watch out for sure, because he can pass the ball, and when he's on his game, he will be an asset to Blackburn and a thorn in our side.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. I mean, if we move on, Steve, we'll see what their team actually looks like. Now, this, as always, is just this isn't what they're likely to show up with. This is just their best performing players for each position. You can see Campwell in the number 10 there with a higher rating than everybody else. Obviously, Miller at the back as well has got a decent rating there. So's Tronstad, I suppose. But this is how this is their best 11 on paper again. Not saying this is how they will rock up to the King Power. Again, like I look at this team, and this is probably what lets us down, what lets Leicester down quite a bit, and the players is that they'll look at this team and say, "Well, we'll win this." Like they don't even know who half of these guys are, right? But
yep,
that's not unfortunately how football works. Do you know anything about any of these other players, Steve? Do you know any of them other than Campwell?
So yes and no. So I know of Ohashi. He's a 29-year-old striker that played quite a lot in the Japanese league, but he did okay over in Japan.
Okay.
He's a decent player, but realistically speaking, we're in the Premier League last season. I didn't pay much attention to the Championship at all. So there's only Ohashi because I signed him on Football Manager. That's it.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah, I mean, 11 goals in 47 games in total for Blackburn, which isn't it's better than Daka's return in the last 47 games. I'll just say that. But yeah, so yeah, they've got a few players in there that it can definitely cause us problems. I mean, if you just look back to the Preston game, you think, I mean, who are some of these guys, and they did us. So you just know that they've got it in their locker somewhere. Let's talk about this, and Steve, if we move on over to Leicester, and it is the main man, Marti Cifuentes. Now, Leicester's form, we don't really need to go too much into it. We know how inconsistent we are at the minute, although some would say we're consistently shit. But we are in 10th place, 4 games won, 5 games drawn, 3 games lost on 17 points. You can see there it says Marti out, because there are quite a few people out there in the Leicester fan base that are wanting Marti out, or that are maybe close to Marti out. Steve, I think this game, mate, could be the pendulum swing. Like, I think if we lost this game or even drew it, I think you're going to see a lot more people saying Marti out, because if you can't beat Blackburn in 21st after losing to Hull and Millwall, what hope have you got?
Well, that, and also the second half performance against Portsmouth as well. It's been 2.5 really poor games for Leicester. I think so. by my own sort of experiences, the away fans are starting to turn already, and the home fans have been okay. But if we go a goal down, that atmosphere changes really quickly at the King Power, and it has done for the last couple of years. It's somewhere there you need to make it into a fortress, and to bring fans on side again. Marty really needs to beat these sort of teams and beat them comfortably, because we haven't had a full 90-minute performance out of the team as of yet. But it's a perfect opportunity for him to put his sort of flag in the ground and say, no, this is how we're playing. We'll go out there and be confident, and we'll beat Blackburn, and then we'll move over to Middlesbrough on Tuesday or Tuesday, and go from there. But yeah, it is. I genuinely think it might be the first must-win game of the season for him.
And do you think, though? I mean, we spoke a little bit about it on Fox's Den, I know, but this is also a great opportunity to maybe get a bit of confidence together, but a bit of form together, right? Like if you can have a nice convincing win at home, then you have another home game. The atmosphere is a little bit better, I suppose, after a win, and you can build on that. Whereas like a couple of weeks or 3 weeks ago when we beat Swansea, there was an international break, right? So we couldn't really put too much together. But now is a good opportunity for him.
Well, yeah, exactly. Especially because you go into a difficult game in the midweek, and then a game against Norwich next Saturday that is also winnable. So it would be nice to use this opportunity to pick up some points on the board before the international break that's coming up again. Annoyingly, to bed in the players that you think are going to start the next 2 or 3 games and actually play those players. Because, as I said on Fox's Den last night, at this point, I don't care if somebody's going to get injured. I just want to have a settled side that doesn't keep chopping and changing. So if he has a settled side and we beat Blackburn and we go to Middlesbrough and we put in Middlesbrough come to us and we put in another decent performance, great. That's 2 steps forward. But yeah, I think there will be changes on Saturday. We just got to see who it's going to be.
Yeah. Well, let's move on then to that. This was the 11 against Millwall. So we had Stolarczyk, Ricardo, Okoli, Vestergaard, Thomas, James, Winks, Fatawu, Ramsey, Monga, Ayew. Now, we know it's not going to be the same 11, Steve, because we know Ramsey's injured. Hopefully, I think the press conference will probably be today. So we might get more information on how long that's likely to be, hopefully, today. You'd imagine it's at least a few weeks, I would guess, because it was his hamstring, and he did look in a lot of pain, and he looked a bit distraught, to be honest. So I think he probably knew it was quite bad. But let's not speculate. We know he's going to miss this one, that's for sure. So let's start at that. Who comes in for Ramsey, Steve? Is it Ayew with another number 9 up front? Is it Mavididi who came on as a number 10 against Millwall, or could it be Louis Page, who we haven't seen for a while?
I actually think if he's fit, it would be Bobby De Cordova-Reid, because he played there against Swansea, did okay.
Yes.
Look, he wasn't great against Portsmouth at home, but I think he'll come into that position. We'll keep Ayew up top, and then the other changes around the team. But you could see Louis Page coming in because it's a perfect game for Louis Page against Blackburn. They are physical, but it's the sort of game that you want a young lad to get in there and show his confidence. I'm not sure about Mavididi playing in the 10 role. I know he can play there, but I've never seen him play there for Leicester that's worked out. So would you run the risk of him putting in another potential poor performance? I don't know.
My worst case scenario, Steve, is that he puts JJ in the 10 and he plays Samare next to Winks, because I think that would be a disaster. I think we've seen enough of JJ as a 10. It just doesn't work, in my opinion, especially when it's Samare to come in behind him alongside Winks. And I know you just don't want to see Samare near the starting 11 ever again.
Yeah, I agree, but you are actually probably correct there. That will most likely happen, and we'll keep Ayew up top. That's unfortunate to have Samara coming in, but look, he's not been great, but maybe this is the time he turns it around for the 15th time. You never know.
Just finally, Steve, Luke Thomas, not what you want. Do you think he's going to drop Thomas?
Oh, I don't think he will. I think he will drop. I think he drops Monga over for Mavididi over Thomas for somebody else. I guess it depends on if Christensen's fit or if Aluko is ready to step up. But I think Marty gives these players too much like positive confidence and said, go out there, you can change it. I'm not sure if he should be playing, but I imagine that Luke Thomas will play at left back still, and then we'll have Mavididi up top, because an issue for Thomas is that he's fine if he doesn't have to defend or attack, and Monga doesn't help with defending. So having Mavididi drop back a bit more, and because he has the work rate to do the defending as well, will probably help him out a bit better. But I just dread to think that if this is the lineup that happens at the weekend, and we just see Samare in for Ramsey, the fans are just going to be shot already. The confidence is just not going to be there, because it will keep making the same mistake of picking Thomas every week.
That's what I was going to say, Steve. I was going to say, like, I know I said if we lost or drew, there would be a lot more Marty out people. However, I think even if Thomas, when that lineup comes out, if Luke Thomas and Samare are in it, then I think there's going to be, just off the straight away, instantly, a lot of people who are just like, nah, fuck this. Do you know what I mean? I can't be doing this. But
can I go home?
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Okay, finally, Steve, let's go on, as always, to the score predictions. I'm going to start us off, and I'm going to say he is going to drop Thomas. We're going to have a clean sheet, and we're going to win 2-0. What are you going with, mate?
Oh, so I'm going to agree with you. They're not great at scoring goals. They've scored less than a goal a game so far this season. They've conceded 17, which is more than a goal a game this season. I think 2-0 as well. And a decent 90 minutes performance.
That's what I was going to say. I think we just need to see, like, we don't want to see us go 1-0 up and then just be peppered for an hour. Like, you're at home. You're against 21st in the league or 20th, whatever they are. They've barely scored all season. Just go and control the game, man. Like, get a goal. Get 2 if you can. Control the game. Don't concede too many chances. That's it, innit? That's all. I think I think most fans, there wouldn't be too much to complain about if that was the case. So, yes, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens. Of course, as I said, the game is at 12:30 on Saturday. So make sure you tune in for the watch along for that one. It will be Luke and Doc hosting that one with a couple other guests. And we'll be back as well for Good Morning Foxes on Sunday. That'll be fun. We're going to do it live from the Star Inn in Throssington. So that'll be me, Graham, Kate, and Steve. We'll all be there. So make sure to tune us in for that one. It'll be a special in-person live Good Morning Foxes. Hopefully it's a Good Morning Foxes, not a Bad Morning Foxes. But more importantly, before all of that, tomorrow night, if you're watching this on Thursday, tonight, if you're watching on Friday, yesterday, if you're watching on Saturday, we have the FM, the Football Manager stream. So that will be live, I think, a little bit earlier this week, 8 p.m. on Friday. I think that's what we said. Is that what I said, Steve? 8 p.m.
I believe so.
8
yes.
PM. 8 p.m. on Friday night. Looking through each other's saves, and that'll be a bit of fun. So cheers, Steve, mate. Much appreciated. Come on, Leicester, get the 3 points. We will see you very soon. Bye-bye. No more 200 grand, but our new sponsors, The Beautiful Frame, have smashed it with this Jamie Vardy piece. It's unreal. They're a local Leicester business as well, which makes it even better. And not just City, they do prints for other clubs as well. So it's perfect if you are stuck for a birthday or Christmas present for one of your friends or family. Now, the best bit, they have sorted BTG viewers out with a discount. Just use BTG12 at checkout for money off. BTG12. Grab yours now at thebeautifulframe.com. The link is down below.